Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new episode of my money making series. In this episode, we're going to be doing something quite standard and not too sort of out there, and that is to be doing some divination. So we're going to go to a divination spot now, and because I have the full elder divination, I can just teleport straight to the colony. So we're going to start with the highest level, and that's a level 95 incandescent wisps. And just basically to go over the sheer GP which divination can currently make per hour. So in terms of the divination setup, I have the full elder divination set. Now this set can be started to be gathered at level 80, and once you're level 80 you'll start to get the fragments, and then as soon as you've got the full set you can then make it. If you've got the normal div cape, use the normal div cape because it has a benefit of keeping the wisps around for longer. Also make sure to have the multiple pouch. Now to do this you need to do a quest which I think is Fate of the Gods or one of the God storylines to use the familiar, and what that basically does is it's pretty much a pack yak for your energy. So whenever you are collecting divination energy it stores it to that as well, just so you have to go to the rift less often. As well as that, you want to have some divination urns for some bonus XP. Along with that, even though I forgot it, the urn enhancer from Slisky's endgame if you are a madman and you actually manage to keep your sanity after finishing it. And that is pretty much it. But what makes this method so good is the divine relic. Now this relic is linked to archaeology. You're going to need level 98 archaeology to do it. And what this does, rather than just going to the rift and using the energy just one by one, it gives you the ability to throw all of your energy into the rift in one chance, and basically just get rid of it all in one go. And because of that, you are saving a massive chunk of time with divination and getting straight back onto collecting wisps and collecting energy from the wisps to throw back in. Now, since divination's early days, they have done some fantastic updates to divination to make sure it's a lot more seamless, a lot more annoying than what it used to be. Wisps stay a lot closer to the rift and don't sort of venture as far away as they used to. This spot is particularly used to be a nightmare because the wisps will just do whatever they want and just venture a lot further away. But it's a lot smoother now and it's a lot better now, and it's actually a lot more enjoyable and a lot more chill. So when you go to the rift, you have a couple of options. You want to configure and use this option here. What this will do is turn your memories into more energy, and that's basically why this method is so OP. Because the energy is what's going to bring you all the money. Like that there, it's just converted the whole invo into the energy. So for one go in divination, it's just used 600 energy. In terms of profit, that's 150k for what probably took me a couple of minutes work. And let's be fair, I didn't have a divine spring pop up or an enriched spring pop up. 150k in a couple of minutes with no enriched spring, which will give you more energy, because it will give you only enriched memories for a period of time. If you wanted to hunt just enriched memories, you can go to a highly populated world, and what people will do is empower the energy rift, which will then give you more chance of enriched springs, which then will give you some more chances at more energy per hour. Just because this works at the high level one doesn't mean it doesn't work at any of the other spots. Divination energy is very weird. Certain tiers will go very expensive for whatever reason, and it's never really sort of got a reason behind it why. It could be to do with them being tied to divination spots or daily divination spots as well, where people will only want a certain type or use a certain type, which means that energy is still in demand. So another full invo done there, and we're currently up to 1.2k energies. Now this relic as well, it's not too hard to get. It's linked to the caches. We just need to get an item from caches. And once this relic is active, it will be used for all divination spots. And in terms of like getting pure energies for like Iron Man and stuff like that, divination becomes so much easier and actually sort of an enjoyable skill. But as you can see here, we're already up to 1.2k, which is already over 250k profit. This is pretty much pure profit. The only expense you're really going to have is the Nightmare Musper Pouch. And the divination urns here are more for XP. You do not have to bring them if needed. Like for here, the only sort of problem with using the ability to turn your memories into more energy is the XP is pretty rubbish. You're sacrificing XP to get more profit from the skill, which I do like about divination. You have the choice for either profit or sheer XP. It's one or the other, and you can adjust this to whatever sort of stage your account currently is. But yeah, that is pretty much the method. I'm going to go and show how it works at other spots as well. So let's go to a lower tier level divination spot and see how it goes on. Probably spend just under 10 minutes here, 450k, not too bad at all. The wiki says it's roughly about 7.5 mil per hour at this spot. Now I weren't sort of paying much attention. I was sort of mining on the noob account, so I was more AFK in this. But if you were to pay attention and to make sure you were harvesting enriched springs when it already popped up, maybe on a more busy populated world, you would definitely make towards the 7 mil sort of mark. But just to prove again, this method does work out of the spots. I'm going to go to the lowest of the, I'm going to go to level 20 to the Bright Wisps. Now, for whatever reason, this is actually the most expensive wisp in the game, or the energy in the game. So this on the wiki says it's 397 GP. The first 3 levels of energies are actually all over 330 GP each, which a lot of other energy is sort of towards the high 200s. So it shows that a lot of people don't really do the lower energy, and if there's ever a requirement for quests or stuff like that, that's what makes the GP price warranted. People would rather just pay the price than actually go and gather it, which is a benefit of you if you're a very low level divination. Obviously, I don't think you're going to get the divination level and 95 arc at the same time. You might want to do archaeology before divination, but yeah, so let's just do a quick round of this spot and harvest and dump the energy in and see sort of what GP we make. That is the full info done. Throw them into the well, and that's 400 of the bright energy. To the price checker, 170k for a full info, which is not too bad at all. It's a little bit more profit than incandescence, but what I would probably suggest, if you've got the ability to use relic, use it at a high spot, get some decent XP, well, not decent XP, get the best XP you possibly can for your level, because either way, doing this method with divination, you're going to be making some money as well. So that is pretty much this episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please leave me a like and comment, and I'll see you guys in the next money making episode very soon on this account and this channel as well.